It's unimaginable. Here you are, a seemingly healthy family, until one day your child suddenly collapses. Maybe they were out playing. Maybe they were at home. Maybe they simply never woke up. Sudden cardiac arrest is the #1 cause of death in the U.S., claiming hundreds of thousands of lives each year. But what most parents don't know is that it's also the #2 cause of death among youth under 25 and the #1 killer of student athletes. In fact, one student athlete has a sudden cardiac arrest every 3 days. It's not a heart attack. Sudden cardiac arrest is caused by an abnormality in the heart structure that causes a potentially fatal arrhythmia, a deadly heartbeat. The abnormality is something you're born with and can develop as your heart grows. It could be unique to you, or it could be an inherited condition. These abnormalities can go undetected because heart screenings are not part of regular youth checkups or pre-participation sports physicals, even though evidence shows that as many as 1 in 100 kids are at risk. And because there are often no recognized warning signs, the first symptom could be death. But studies show that many who experienced a sudden cardiac arrest were reported by their parents to have had at least one cardiovascular symptom before the event. They just didn't recognize it as life-threatening. Let's take a look at the potential warning signs and risk factors for sudden cardiac arrest. Fainting is the #1 sign of a heart condition, yet fainting is often attributed to excessive heat, exhaustion, or dehydration. A fainting episode should always trigger a doctor's assessment. Shortness of breath. When a young person is repeatedly out of breath and is unable to recover quickly, that's not a normal reaction to physical activity. A racing heart. Likewise, a young heart should slow down in due time, and it shouldn't feel like it's beating out of his or her chest at the wrong time. Lightheadedness. A young person should not get repeatedly lightheaded or dizzy, especially with regular exercise. Chest pain. These are not cramps. This is pain that makes it hard to breathe, especially for young athletes. Increased physical activity should shape up their body, not break it down. Extreme or unexpected fatigue. Young people get tired, but if your son or daughter is always tired, that could be an indicator that their heart is not working properly. Nearly everyone experiences these symptoms at some point, but if these conditions are part of your child's daily life, it's important to discuss them with your doctor. It's also useful to take a cardiac questionnaire to your appointment so the doctor has a complete youth and family history. These are often available through your school, doctor, or local heart-focused organization. That history will include risk factors for potentially inherited heart conditions. Do you have a family history of known heart abnormalities or sudden death before the age of 50? Do you have family members who experienced an unexplained car accident, drowning or near drowning, or unexplained fainting or seizures? Are you related to someone under the age of 50 with heart disease? Does your child consume high-caffeine energy drinks, performance-enhancing supplements, or diet pills? Has your child used recreational drugs, cocaine, or inhalants? Let's break it down. There are nearly 8 million high school athletes alone in the U.S. That means at least 80,000 kids could have an undetected heart condition. That's more than enough to fill a huge stadium, and that's just a fraction of the total population under 25 who could be at risk. You don't want to take a chance with your child's heart. So what can we do as parents? First, we can pay attention to our child's heart health. Check in with them about whether they experience any of these symptoms. Sometimes they've lived with the symptoms so long they think it's normal to feel that way. But the fact is, young people often don't tell adults if something's wrong in the hopes it will just go away. Sometimes they're embarrassed they're not keeping up with their friends or their teams. Athletes, and often their parents, don't want to jeopardize their playing time. We need to let our kids know that if they experience any of these symptoms, they need to speak up. And most importantly, these warning signs or risk factors should be checked out by a licensed physician who can order a heart screening to check for abnormalities that could put your kids at risk. Some communities have local foundations that provide preventative heart screenings. Because many heart conditions often have no symptoms or warning signs, it's a great opportunity for all youth to get screened. And what if sudden cardiac arrest strikes? Every minute delayed in response to a cardiac emergency decreases the chance of survival by 10%. So know these 3 steps to survival. Call 911. Find the closest automated external defibrillator, or AED. This is the only tool that will restore a normal heartbeat. These are designed for anyone to use. You don't need to be a medical professional. The machine will only shock the heart if it finds a fatal rhythm, so you can't unintentionally hurt the person. While you locate an AED and wait for emergency personnel to arrive, start hands-only CPR. That's clasped hands in the center of the breastbone, doing continuous chest compressions, about 100 per minute. Look, sudden cardiac arrest has been called a public health crisis, so it's time to take matters into our own hands, literally. Know the warning signs. Review your family's heart history. Talk with your doctor about the need for a heart screening, and be prepared to take action in the event of a cardiac emergency, because it only takes a minute to prevent a tragedy that could be a heartbeat away. Visit the Eric Paredes Save a Life Foundation at epsavealife.org.